Flushing the unflushable not only gives you a mess to clean up, it can cost you thousands of dollars in repairs, as you'll see. The humble toilet might be the hardest working appliance in the house. When you flush things that aren't meant to be flushed, they can get stuck in the plumbing and block anything from moving past them. I don't think I need to elaborate on what happens next. As a home insurance provider, we've seen it all when it comes to toilet-related damage. Let's look at 10 things you might think you can flush, but you definitely should not. A lot of baby wipes are marketed as flushable, but it's very rare that they actually are. They're considered flushable because they're biodegradable, but they're still stiff sheets that can get stuck in your plumbing. Biodegradation isn't the fastest process in the world, so unless you want to wait 100 years for your pipes to clear up, drop your baby wipes in the trash. Paper towels seem to have a lot in common with toilet paper, but toilet paper is designed to break down once it gets wet. Paper towels are marketed for their strength and durability, two qualities that make them unflushable. Like paper towels, menstrual hygiene products like tampons and pads are specifically designed to not break down when they get wet. Plus, they absorb water and expand, so they're almost perfectly designed to block plumbing. Toss them in the trash. Continuing the theme, diapers are meant to absorb, and most definitely aren't meant to break down. You'd think it would be obvious when looking at a diaper that it doesn't fit through the plumbing, but we've seen flush diapers before, and the results aren't pretty. Don't flush diapers of any variety down the toilet. Normal kitty litter is absolutely on the no flush list. Cat litter is usually made with clay. When you add a bunch of clay and a bunch of water and cram it into a small pipe, it tends to block things up pretty good. In fact, we've seen flush cat litter cause over $60,000 in damage, all at once. It's best to avoid the catastrophe and toss cat litter in the garbage instead. If you have any old pills or other medication that you need to dispose of, do not flush them. They might not block your plumbing, but they can dissolve and end up polluting rivers, lakes, and groundwater. In Canada, you could take old medication to any pharmacy for them to dispose of safely. If you can't do that, mix your medication with something like used coffee grounds or cat litter, seal it inside a bag, and toss it in the trash. Like medication, cigarettes are full of all sorts of chemicals that are harmful to marine life. Those chemicals can make their way into water sources. On their own, they may not plug up plumbing, but they can easily get caught up in existing hair, fat, or other clogs and make the problem worse. So, without starting a fire, toss them in the trash. Bathroom trash comes in many varieties, and you shouldn't flush any of it down the toilet. Cotton swabs, for example. On their own, they won't block plumbing, but they can get stuck inside the pipes, which causes anything else flushed to get caught on them until it snowballs into a full-on blockage. Same thing with dental floss. Floss won't block a pipe, but it will get caught inside and start collecting anything that floats by. We've seen all sorts of bathroom odds and ends stuck in plumbing, from shaving cream caps to combs. Those can cause thousands of dollars of damage. So take care that they don't go down the toilet, either by accident or on purpose. It's more common to send cooking oil or fat down the sink than the toilet, but you shouldn't dump it down either one. Keep it out of your plumbing entirely. Fats may be liquid when you flush them, but cool water and various chemical reactions in the sewer system turn them into something like concrete. Fat blockages get worse and worse as the amount of wastewater increases. In a single-family home, they can be bad. In a condo building, with hundreds of homes sharing one plumbing system, they can be disastrous. When a city's worth of wet wipes and cooking fat come together, they create fatbergs. Enormous, dense blocks that weigh over 100 tons and block the sewer system for a whole city. You can learn more about that incredible phenomenon from the link in the description below. Fat buildup in sewers costs a lot of taxpayer dollars to repair. Metro Vancouver says they spend $2.7 million every year dealing with fat in the sewer. Save everyone some money and toss your fat oils in the trash or compost.
Did you know that?
No, this is fucking... Who? $2.7 million? Obviously, flushing toilet paper is fine. That's what it's for. But don't flush too much at once. A big wad of toilet paper can easily clog up your plumbing. It will disintegrate eventually, but in the meantime, make sure you don't leave the toilet to overflow. We've seen toilet paper clogs cause over $5,000 in damage. If you ever find your toilet blocked by one of these items, or something else entirely, don't panic! Do not try flushing again until you clear the blockage. Adding more water to the situation isn't going to help, and overflowing water is what causes most of the damage we've talked about in this video. Instead, here's what to do. If the water isn't stopping, shut off the water supply valve. It is a little knob you can turn located behind the toilet. Then, pull out your plunger. If you have a toilet, you should have a plunger. The best time to buy a plunger is long before you need it. If you're unable to get the blockage free by plunging it, you can try pouring dish soap into the toilet followed by a few liters of hot water. Of course, if the bowl is already full, that might not work. If you can't get the blockage free yourself, call a plumber and make sure there's no water overflowing in the meantime. Generally speaking, home insurance policies in Canada will cover damage that results from a backed up toilet. That said, water damage can be pretty disastrous, and you want to avoid it at all costs. Overflowing toilet water can seep into flooring, and if you live in a multi-story apartment building or condo, you might end up doing as much damage to your downstairs neighbor's home as your home. The best way to deal with water damage is to never have it happen in the first place. So pay attention to what you're flushing. At Square One, you can get home insurance that includes the broadest water damage protection available in Canada. You can get a free home insurance quote in less than 5 minutes by visiting squareone.ca or clicking the link on the screen now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. Don't flush any type of fatbergs. Enormous home insurance policies in Canada will cover... Your joke is just clicking. Hope the bandage isn't too distracting. So, without starting a fire, toss them in the trash.